Welcome back. Today, we're going to upgrade the fuel system. Right now, it has a Walbro 255 liter per hour pump, and it is completely, it's time to upgrade. I want some more power, and it's going lean. I think it's finally getting weak. Had it maxed out, much that thing could do. So, this is the new fuel system. We have the new sump. What we're going to put on it, we have dual Bosch 44 fuel pumps. They're 300 liter per hour. Run them parallel, so at the same time. New regulator with 8 AN fittings. Fuel filter. Here's the return line, 6 AN. All of our fittings, our 10 AN line, and our 8 AN line for the feed. So we're going to mount this on the frame. I'll show you guys where. It'll go like this. From here to here, into the regulator, into the fuel system. So let's just start working on that and get this new fuel system on. And then we will go to the dyno and see if we could break 700 horsepower out of this thing. I know the motor can handle it, but we'll see if the turbo will be enough. So let's get started. So first, we're going to drain the fuel out of it. So I hooked a line up right here, and it's right to the fuel tank. And I'm just going to jump it from the little fuel pump prime to a 12 volt, which this has a 12 volt, this little wire right here. Okay, so sorry about the break. Camera died, so I didn't get to had to charge it and didn't get to record everything. But what I did was remove the stock fuel lines, and I think that was probably going to be the hardest part because it's a tight fit next to the transmission. So I got those out finally. I got this all lined out how I'm going to do it. So it's going from the sump to the fuel pumps to the filter to the regulator, and back from regulator straight to the sump. I got that on. So the sump's on. I got the wiring pulled down just to wire these new pumps. There's the sump. Pretty basic. And then I'm gonna mount it right in here on inside of the frame. So that I'll have to weld a bracket for that, which won't be hard at all. But I did get, one thing I did do is get that regulator mounted. And I'm probably going to take off the gauge just because it kind of looks bulky with it. And I don't like the bulkiness look. But I just need the gauge to get the PSI set where I want it, which I'm going to do 60. So we'll leave the gauge on for now until I set that, and then we'll take it off and just plug it. Just because I think it looks cleaner. But actually tomorrow night, we're going to run the lines, weld the bracket, and should be ready to fire up. What I did realize was I actually just changed my fuel filter. And the pump wasn't failing me by any means. That fuel filter is so clogged I could barely breathe through it. So yeah, that was my problem, but I needed to upgrade eventually because I know I was pretty maxed out on that pump. So, Yeah, pretty much brand new. Had it for maybe probably like actually 5 months, but I've only drove it maybe 300 miles in 5 months. So yeah. Okay, so we have our return line right here. Still need to cut it and get the length, but I'm going to start running it down behind the motor and through the frame to the sump, and we'll mark it, and then we'll decide where we're going to cut it. I just got this 90-degree end on, and we're going to screw it on under the, right there, underneath the regulator, of course. So we'll get that on and start running that next. Hello! So this is night number 2. Well, night number 2. So I have the regulator mounted. I showed you guys that. We have our return ran. Now we're just working on the feed. But I need to weld a bracket onto my frame. So I got this 1.5 inch piece of steel plate. I'll cut it, weld it to the frame, and then mount the pumps to it. And then I'll run the feed line. And then the only thing left will be is the wiring, which that should not be that hard. That should be the easiest part. I'm hoping so, but there's always an issue. That's granted. So we will start working on mounting these pumps next. Okay, so we finally have the fuel system completely done. It was leaking, so and it had some brass washers, so I'm not sure why they were leaking, but I switched it with some O-rings instead, some rubber washers, and that solved the leak. So we got the regulator there, and then show you the pumps. See, these are the washers that were leaking, which very odd. Okay, so there's the pumps and all the lines of fuel filter. Now we'll start it up. So, gonna make sure it goes for a test drive, take it out on the streets tonight, see how it does. But glad that mess is finally over. Does not look like it's leaking anymore, so that's a good sign. It definitely was dripping pretty good, so glad it's not anymore. So we will go drive it here in a little bit, but AFRs are in check. Feels very low, but awesome. I am glad that this thing's finally done. So got to go to the gas station, get some fuel for it, but everything looks good. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the dyno.